Light 'em if you got 'em. Time to torch down the house, y'all.
You're listening to the Shannabis Cast. Like us on Facebook at Shannabis TV. Follow us on Instagram at Shannabis Cannabis. Watch us on YouTube, Shannabis Cannabis, or listen to us on Podbean. This week on the Shannabis Cast, I'm going to cover some pretty big announcements going on in the cannabis industry at this current time, and I'm going to dive right in here and kind of meet these organizations and these companies that are advertising to us for our investment dollars. In the news recently, High Times is purchasing 1 to 13 dispensaries. The deal, according to Cision, says that a vertically integrated cannabis company and multi-state operator in the U.S. announced today plans to divest select retail assets in California to High Times. Harvest Health and Recreation and its affiliates intend to sell a portfolio of equity and assets with respect to 13 operational and planned dispensaries in California for total consideration, including up to $5 million cash, $2.5 million as a one-year promissory note with 10% interest, and $65.5 million in Series A preferred stock issued by High Times. I will read from New Cannabis Ventures and their headline and their content. High Times Holding Corp. Today issued a Form 1U detailing an $80 million transaction with Harvest Health and Recreation. Harvest will sell up to 13 California dispensaries, most of which are not yet operational. So I'm going to go back to this assets thing. So what are they buying? My question is, are they buying one? Are they buying 13? We don't know, but it's, all over the news here. Hey, High Times wants to dig into the retail market in California. Cool for them. I always thought they were pretty much a brand and could have just stamped their logo on a plethora of products and could have made a pile of money on just licensing. And at least that would be my, that's what I would think their move would be after events, because obviously events are not going to be generating. Harvest Health. Now, I don't know if you guys know about Harvest Health. Well, let me take you back to, I had an interview last week with Dean Matt. He wrote the book Gone to Pot, and in it, there's a chapter about this Verano Holdings deal that Health Harvest back on March 11th. New Cannabis Ventures, a vertically integrated cannabis company with one of the largest footprints in the U.S., is pleased to announce that it has entered into a binding agreement to acquire Verano Holdings. This was an all-stock transaction again, so where's the money? And this actually never happened. And that was on March 11th. So will this High Times deal actually happen and close? Or because it seems like it's just in the middle of it. So I guess it's just one of those, and then again, where's the money? It's all stock. So if I read these headlines, I'm going to go, oh, okay. Oh, they're doing something. All right. And then I might want to throw my money into a stock that is valued or might not perform properly. Moving on. Oh, here again. Harvest Health. Deals in downsized financing. This was back on, So it was March 11th, reported by New Cannabis Ventures that the Harvest Health deal with Verano Holdings for $850 million in an all-stock deal was happening. And then 2 weeks later, on March 26 from Eric Volkman, Motley Fool, Harvest Health and Recreation will not be going ahead with pending acquisition after all. It's 2 weeks of, I don't know what. And then if we go back even further, this is from February 6th, seeking alpha, M&A deals, and downsized financing. Harvest Health has faced several obstacles recently, which caused its share price to underperform other MSO peers. The company terminated the announced acquisition of Canna Pharmacy and filed a lawsuit against Falcon International for alleged fraud. So that was another deal that was supposed to happen that didn't happen. We believe Harvest will need to resolve these issues and stabilize the company by closing Verano, raising non-dilutive capital in 2020. And then if we go back here of January of this year, Health, Harvest, and Recreation to terminate merger with Falcon International. So again, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 Health Harvest deals that never happened. You know, we all know where High Time stood just a few weeks ago. They're on the verge of bankruptcy. I don't know where the funds are coming from for retail in California. Also, in Salt Lake City, or in Utah, in Pennsylvania, and a third city, Ohio, I believe it was Ohio, Harvest Health was under investigation. They got scrutiny in Utah, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. Harvest Health, one of 8 companies that the state picked earlier this year to cultivate medical marijuana in Utah, has faced accusations of fraud in at least 2 of the other states where it operates. So in 3 different states, they face fraud allegations. We dug into that deal. That's what I dug up, and hopefully we can go forward and fact check some things and make the right decisions. For weeks now, there's been a lot of news about the subpoena that was given to Weed Maps. They had to turn over vital financial information. Here I have a copy of the subpoena. MJ Biz published it earlier this week. I'm not going to read off the names, the individuals, but I will name off. Wow, this is crazy. So here's the thing. If you were transacting with Weed Maps back during the gray days, you really couldn't sell your products or keep up with the market if you didn't. So they were able to charge $20, $30, $50,000. I know some of these single store owners were paying. They were recouping it. They were doing really well because of the limited marketing capabilities that every company had for a long time and still does. You can't consistently accept cash from illegal enterprises. You can't do that. And I am not surprised about any of this. I would say that marketing firms, media firms, advertising firms that were, there's some names on here that I remember. So when I worked for Elevate Magazine, I would call on ads that were already in other publications. There was one specific ad that every month I would call. I could never talk to anybody. The phone number would change every 2 or 3 months in a publication. And it was Cushy Punch. For years, I have told people, Cushy Punch, there's something not like, you can't ever speak to anybody. And they were advertising the most. I believe they're involved in some things. I believe I saw their name a few weeks back in some things. I might have to pull that information back up. But so yeah, this is a copy of the subpoena that Weed Maps was given and a list of all the people and businesses that they had to turn over. There's quite a few names on this list that you would be very familiar with. They've purchased a lot of billboards and media advertisements. I'll pull out a couple here. Puffy Delivery, Flav RX, TerraTech, and then there's obviously a lot of California, but if you want to learn more, Google Weed Maps, Subpoena, and MJ Biz just published it this week. Let's see what other news do we have here. Okay. This was a few weeks ago. This is one I kind of put to the side until I could get around to it. But Canopy Growth exits cannabis cultivation on 3 continents in major international pullback. Yes, Canopy Growth now is pulling back, which is, I completely agree with. I think that's the best thing they can do. In Africa, Canada, Colombia, the US, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 label names. Tweed, Spectrum Therapeutics, DNA Genetics, Craft Grow Collection, Tokyo Smoke, Doja, Vanderpop, and Matry. Those are their product brand labels, and Canopy Growth just, continues to hemorrhage. I'm just waiting for their bankruptcy unless they can catch themselves by just seriously cleaning house. Okay, here is another one. This was 2 weeks ago. Investor action alert. The Shaw Law Firm announces the filing of a class action lawsuit against Ianthus Capital Holdings, Inc., and encourages investors with losses in excess of $100,000 to contact the firm. The Shaw Law Firm, a national shareholder rights litigation firm, announces the filing of a class action lawsuit against Ianthus Capital Holdings for violations of 10B and 20A of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. This is going on. Ianthus Capital owns a few brands out there. I know MPX is one of them. They were making a great concentrate, and then it got soupy, but they've got bigger problems. So that's a lawsuit with Ianthus. 10B and 20A. 20A is insider trading, and 10B is fraud. 20A is insider trading. Ianthus Capital is in some trouble for insider trading and fraud. Ianthus Capital owns a couple different entities. There's Florida, Arizona, Nevada, Maryland, Massachusetts, and New York. They're under different names, so you want to look into that depending on what it is you're buying into. Grow Healthy, Healthy for Life Dispensaries, Mayflower Medicinals, and Sativa with a C in New York. Dig into these companies. You really want to know what they're actually doing. Just reading some headlines is not a good idea to start, reading into things. You really want to dig in, and hopefully this cast helps you create those tools for yourself that you can take with you and ask the right questions as the entire industry moves forward. Here we go. I pulled this one. This is a Hemp Industry Daily blog. And Oregon CBD company sues lab over THC latent extract shipment. Here it is, guys. This is now the beginning of the explosion of what I've been telling you guys about. A lot of these hemp fields testing out hot and having weed, marijuana in their field, not, hemp that's made for textiles, and it should be male, but that's a whole other show. And then some good news. I like to come out with you guys. I'm going to come out, blazing, but I want to leave you with some good news on the cast all the time because it is about positivity. We want to make money. We want to know what we're doing and make sure that we're going to succeed. You can't just buy into the bullshit, Cheers. I think this is a fabulous move. Full disclosure, I do have a little bit of change in this stock, and I see them, in my opinion, making the right moves, doing the right thing. They're not running to California. Body and Mind opens Arkansas dispensary and completes San Diego dispensary transaction. So they've completed a transaction and they're opening a new dispensary in a brand new area that is just primed for, you're gonna at least go up in the new area, and they do make a really good product. Body and Mind opens Arkansas dispensary and completes San Diego dispensary transaction. Congratulations, Body and Mind. Thank you for doing some good stuff. I also want to mention, I saw this on LinkedIn and I want to, throw support when I see people and groups and organizations really what I believe is doing things to press forward a lot of this, depending on, I guess, what year you're in the school of cannabis. Everybody needs different information for many different things. Dr. Sandra Carrillo, I want to know if I pronounced that right. Sorry if I didn't. But Sandra Carrillo, MD, MHSM, clinical professor in charge of scientific program of medical cannabis. She and a group of other medical professional women are doing a CannaGather digital. This is going to be April 30th from 7:30 Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific time, April 30th. I'm sure they're going to be replaying the content. It's about cannabis and autism. I highly recommend tuning into this or watching it, clicking on it. Absolutely. CannaGather digital, April 30th, about cannabis and autism, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific. As we head into the final days of Autism Awareness Month for CannaGather Digital's April 30th show, Dr. Rachel Knox, MD, MBA, Nico Hester Perez, and Sandra Carrillo will be holding a conversation on the relationship between medical cannabis and autism. I plan on seeing this as soon as I can, and clinical research for autism and cannabis is a must. Personally, Purple Leaf Hemp, I have some clients that have younger children that are on the spectrum in different ways, shapes, and forms, and they found that my capsules work well with their regimen, with their vitamin regimens and their supplement regimens, and it's been a very positive influence. So anyway, congratulations, ladies, and I hope it all goes well. This has been another Shannabis Cast. I'm here to bring you factual information about companies instead of just headlines and media blogging. It's all an opinion. These are all opinions. I have one, everyone has one. As we move forward, I look forward to having conversations with anybody I mention or bring up. If anybody would like to reach out and message me, and this is not going to be sugar-coated. This is not going to be, oh, hey, cute, da, da, da. This is where the tough questions are asked, and this is where you need to answer them or not. I hope you all are well and staying sane. I'm Shannabis. Have a good day.